Welcome to Live Alive. In today's video we'll start with De Zerbi won't be replace Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. The Reds know that life after Klopp will be tough, but FSG are working through things to try and identify the best candidate, with Michael Edwards back involved, of course. Plans have been scuppered somewhat by the news over this weekend that Xabi Alonso is going to remain with Bayer Leverkusen. The Spaniard has decided to stay in Germany, for another year at least. That leaves Liverpool to look for other candidates, of which there are many. However, according to David Ornstein, one manager being heavily linked with a move to Anfield won't be taking over from Klopp. As we know, there are a number of candidates on the list for Liverpool from across Europe. Julian Nagelsmann continues to get a mention, while Ruben Amorim remains a top target for Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Another names who Hughes likes is Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi. The Italian has impressed at the Amex and is expected to land a top job at some point. However, according to David Ornstein, speaking to NBC Sports, De Zerbi won't be the next Liverpool manager, despite having the guts to take it on. Where do Liverpool go next? Well, they will have multiple candidates. Who will be brave enough to be the person to replace Klopp? That was difficult on Man United and Arsenal, but this is different. Liverpool is a really good squad. Roberto De Zerbi would be brave enough to do so, but I don't think it's going to be him, Ornstein said. Liverpool will try to sign two incredibly talented young defenders. Liverpool go into this summer knowing at least one transfer that makes sense, a centre-back. The primary reason for that is Joel Matip, whose contract expires at the end of the season and who's coming off a serious long-term knee injury. If Liverpool do want a centre-back, they may want to look at those at Sporting CP. After all, it looks increasingly likely that Amorim is going to be their next manager, but more than that, they appear to like the look of two Sporting centre-backs already. No, not former Red Sebastian Coates, but the two who typically partner him, Goncalo Inacio and Ousmane Diamond, have been linked with Liverpool for months now. They were reportedly scouting Inacio earlier this year, with links to the defender going back even further than that. Around the same time, there were reports that Liverpool had eyes on 20-year-old Diamond. Honestly, it's almost like they went into January knowing it was worth looking at Sporting players. We really rate Diamond here, and if Liverpool are going to sign either player, he might be the one to go for. But with so many reasons to justify signing a centre-back, a double swoop is starting to look quite tempting. In fact, if Amorim does make the jump to Anfield, it could simply make sense. Two incredibly talented young defenders, a manager who knows them perfectly, and a need to boost the numbers in that position. Yes, it would be an enormous outlay, but perhaps one that could be of an equally enormous benefit to Liverpool this summer. Most important player back again. On the injury front, things can change very quickly. Heading into this weekend, Liverpool will at least have a few more options to choose from ahead of its game with Brighton. But that may not last if the rest of the season is anything to go by. Jurgen Klopp's side has often seen someone pick up a new issue just when someone has come back. Darwin Núñez is fit to face Brighton, having sat out of international duty with a knock, and Ryan Gravenberch and Ibrahima Konate are both available again, having missed a few matches prior to the break. Even more injury boosts are coming, though. The game against Manchester United next weekend could see Trent Alexander-Arnold return, and it would be a major Liverpool boost if Diogo Jota could make his comeback as well. Prior to the international break, Klopp had suggested that while Jota would not be back to face Brighton, he might be able to return to training shortly after that. The Portugal forward is not expected to be out for too much longer. Jota was stretchered off in the first half of the 4-1 win over Brentford in mid-February after suffering a knee injury. Klopp said at the time that the Portuguese forward was facing a month on the sidelines, but it was not season-ending. The other boys, including Jota, from next week on, step by step, they will join parts of team training, Klopp said during his press conference on Friday. We will see what we do with that. They aren't too far away. They are all making their steps. It's a positive. According to a study by the Daily Telegraph, Jota is the most influential Liverpool player when it comes to getting Premier League points on the board. Jota has 14 goals and 4 assists to date this season. If he can play the majority of the matches before the end of the campaign, he could get 20+ for the second time in a Liverpool shirt. While he has missed matches through injury, Jota has contributed a substantial amount when he has been fit. Across the last 2 seasons, Liverpool has picked up 2.15 points per game that he has been involved with, especially impressive considering how poor the majority of the last campaign was. $108 million Real Madrid star to replace Mo Salah. This could be the summer where Liverpool lets go of Mohamed Salah. Saudi Arabia made an attempt to sign Salah last summer but was rejected by the Reds. It remains to be seen whether Liverpool will refuse another attempt a year on. Should Salah depart, then a potential replacement could be Real Madrid forward Rodrigo. The Brazilian has been an integral part of Carlo Ancelotti's side over the last couple of seasons, and Spanish source Fitches states that Liverpool could make a bid to sign the player this summer. However, Fitches reports that Florentino Perez wouldn't accept anything less than $108 million, £85m, Euro 100m. For the 23-year-old, Rodrigo has made 29 appearances in La Liga this season for Madrid, scoring 8 times and producing 5 assists. Should Kylian Mbappé arrive at Madrid this summer as most expect him to, then there's no telling the disruption that could have on the rest of the squad, and Rodrigo could find himself out of the picture as a consequence. Should Liverpool need to replace Salah, the Brazilian should be on the list of potential candidates, although whether he wants to leave Madrid is another matter entirely. And that's the final content of today's video. Like, subscribe to support Live Alive.